Okay, now we move on to the next part. Hierefonta gar istepu. For you know, and then the pu is just a particle that kind of means, of course, in this context. It means a lot of different things, but in this case, it's just kind of emphatic. For you know, kind of don't you, hierophone, hutos emos te heteros ein ekneu. This man was ein emos te heteros, my friend, ek neu, from childhood, kai humon te to plethe, heteros te kai sune fuge ten fugain tauten, and a friend also kai too many to plethe, too many of you, humon te kai sune fuge ten fugain tauten, and he fled. The flight is what it literally means. Obviously, the fugue root is in both words, but he went into exile, tauten, a certain exile, kai meth humon, katelthe, and returned with you. And it's referring to the aftermath of the Peloponnesian War, Sparta regulating Athens after defeating them. But we don't need to get into the history here, just understand that's what's going on. Kai iste de hoios ein hierophone. And you know, indeed, hoios, what sort ein hierophone, what sort of dude, what sort of man hierophone was, how impetuous implied he was. F is really epi, right? Toward hoti, what hormesein, he set in motion. Okay, so he was an impetuous guy. Kai de pote kai eis delphus elthon, and indeed, at some time, once upon a time, pote. So that's kind of what the pote means here. And indeed, once kai eis delphus elthon, having gone eis delphus into Delphi, a tolmese, he dared, tuto montusas thai, he dared to inquire into this, to inquire into the oracle of Delphi. Kai hoper lego me thorubete o Andres. It's kind of a nice little aside here, and it's aposiopesis, I think it's what it's called. Dostoevsky does it a lot. Interruption of a sentence in order to get across that you have an intense emotional content. Kai hoper lego, as I said, don't make noise, oh men. I think it's usually translated don't interrupt, but that's not really the correct translation. Thorubete, don't make noise, oh men. Irito, gar de e tisemu eye sophoteros. For, indeed, he asked, erito, etis, if anyone, tis, without the accent, means anyone, etis, emu eye, sophoteros, if anyone was wiser than I. An Aelin un he Pythia, the Pythia, the priestess of Apollo, an Aelin un a Medena sophoteron. So this is a strange use of this verb. Answered might work here. Therefore, the Pythia answered, there to be no one wiser. Right? So no one was wiser than I. Kai tuton peri. Here you have that strange accentuation of peri getting across the fact that you have a switch of word order, usually of peri, two-tone, but here two-tone peri. And about these things, the brother or his brother, Hierophon, will attest or will bear witness, hutosi, thus, humin, for you, autu, of him, of it. It's ambiguous, but the idea being that he will bear witness. Epide, since Ekenos, Hierophon himself, is the idea here, tetelu taken, has died. Skipsaste de hon heneka. Here again, it's really heneka hon, but reversal of order. Because of which things, so indeed, you will see, indeed, because of which things, tauta lego, I say these things. Mello, gar, and this is that strange construction with mellow, meaning, don't confuse it with the single lambda mellow. Mellow, I literally am about to, right, didoxane, teach, humas, you, hothen, whence or from where, the slander, gegonen, to me. The slander has come about with respect to me, for me, against me, etc. That the dative covers all of those. For tauta gar ego akusas, for I, having heard these things, in a thumumen, another weird use of the verb here, but asked, hutosi, thus, the following, tipote lege hotheos, whatever tipote lege hotheos, the God says. So whatever is the God saying, kai tipote ainitetai. And what is he joking about, or why is he joking about? This is a good example of how the T here, being an accusative of respect, is often translated why, with respect to what. Okay, so it's not an accusative in the sense of a direct object, but rather in the sense of a accusative of respect. And so, and why ever is he joking around? Ainitetai. Egogar, for I indeed de ute mega ute smikron sunoida. I ego gar de ute, for I indeed neither a lot nor a little sunoida, no, imauto. This is debatable how to translate this dative, but with respect to myself, to be wise. At first, when I saw this, I was thinking, oh boy, it's mistranslated when they say, for I know that I am not wise. But really, that's what it means, because the ute point to the mega and the smikron. Neither of the utes points to sunoida. Okay, so do you get it? So ti un pote lege fascon. Okay. T, again, here we have that accusative of respect that is often translated why, or with respect to what. Why, therefore, pote, why ever, therefore, lege, fascon, does the god, hotheos, going back to that, and of course we're talking about Apollo speaking through the Pythia, so that's why it's masculine rather than feminine. Why ever, therefore, does he say, fascone me sophotaton ani, claiming fascons? So we have a participle qualifying lege, so claiming a me sophotaton, me to be wisest, ani. For u depu pseudetai ge, for indeed he does not lie. For u temus auto. It is not his custom. It is not the custom to him, right? It is not the custom to him or his custom. So we have a dative of possession there. Really, you could say dative of respect as well. You see how naming these different datives, and in Latin, by the way, ablatives can be a little bit debatable sometimes as far as how you label them. Kai polun men chronon, and for a long time, porun, I asked typote lege, whatever he said, or why ever he said what he did. Again, the T is ambiguous. Epeta, then, mogis panu, with much difficulty, mogis panu, I turned epizete sinautu, toward an inquiry of him. Okay, so autu is referring to Apollo here, an inquiry of Apollo. Ilthon epi tinaton dokunton sophonenai. I went epi toward tina, one, of those thought to be wise, and the genitive plural of sophon is attracted into the dokunton of those thought what to be sophon, and obviously sophon is a predicate adjective on the other side of enai despite the word order. So then in Taltha, eper pu e linkson, I might, in this context, it would really mean interrogate or disprove, to question into submission, really. To manteon, the oracle, to refute the oracle, kai apophanon, to chresmo hoti, and declaring to chresmo, to the oracle hoti, that hutosiemu sophoteros esti, thus wiser than me esti is this man, sude me ephestha, but you said me implied to be wiser.